What's up, folks? What's up? Welcome back to another episode of Charm City Heavyweights Podcast brought to you by Grade 8 Sports Memorabilia in Parkville, Maryland. I'm the host, Matt Trigger. With me, as always, is my co host, Josh Merrill. What's going on, buddy?
So Matt coming live from the man cave, chilling like a villain.
Just us tonight, buddy. We don't have any guests joining the show. We do have some pretty cool guests coming up, but tonight we are just going to do a little bit of talking about the
OTAs, Orioles.
yeah. We can talk about these god awful City Connect jerseys, and the Orioles are the number 2 team in baseball record wise right now, and they're shooting up many of the ranking sites top tens. Some are even putting them at, as high up as one.
They're actually talking about them on the national outlets now. It's just pretty wild.
Yeah, I don't like that. I always hate when they talk about our teams.
Yeah, me too. Especially the Ravens. The Ravens always seem to have good years when you don't expect it, and when you expect them to have a good year, don't go our way.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I'm liking what I'm seeing from the team, man. They kick off their series with the Yankees tonight in the Bronx,
Up
and
5-4 right now.
yes, last I saw we were up by one, and
Yeah, 5-4.
I like our chances going into the series. We took the brooms to Toronto.
That
Michael,
shocked me.
yeah, Michael Gibbons is back in. Uh,
He's
I think he
pitching
got.
right now.
Yeah,
No, well, he pitched last inning. Sorry, Cano's out
yeah.
there.
Yep, Cano's out there right now. I saw Gibbons got his first appearance of the year.
Yep.
Happy to see Gibbons back in the bullpen. You know, nice little addition right there. He's a good stretch guy. Somebody that can give you an inning or two here or there,
Yeah.
especially if the starters fall short. Because I don't want Cano and Baker to be burnt out before the All Star break.
Yeah, those guys are pitching every day basically. But man, they're studs, both of them. I
They
love Baker,
they
man.
are.
He shows emotion. Like whenever emotions in baseball, these young guys playing now are they beat their chest. I love that, man.
Yeah, I'm enjoying watching the guys. Out there every night.
Fun.
Just
Like
they
this
look
is
like
what
they're
we've
having
been
fun.
waiting for. Like this is what we've been waiting for so long. I know we had some good years with Buck, but we've never had a farm system like this. Somebody was saying on the radio, I think it was Jeremy, was saying how he's never seen it in his life. A team like the Orioles or any team have as much talent in the farm system. He said, most teams are lucky to have one tier of talent. He said the Orioles have 3 to 4 tiers, most scouts say,
And
which is
and
insane. That means they have talent behind talent behind. It's just they have so many good prospects, and no one else in baseball has anything even close.
they got two guys that are knocking down the door right now, and one of them is Jordan Westberg. He is just absolutely killing it in AAA. I'm surprised he's not here yet. I know that they're going to eventually get him up. They're going to have to make room for him on the 40 man though, because he's not on the 40-man roster yet. And Jackson Holiday is going to be in Bowie before the All Star break. It seems like
Yeah, he's not coming up
he's.
to the
I know he's
Orioles
not.
yet, though.
I know he's not coming up to the Orioles yet, but he's going to be in Double A by the All Star break.
Probably he's murdering it.
He's crushing high A pitching right now, and he just looks the part. And those two down there, and then Heston Kjerstad is still hitting the ball very well. Colton Cowser still on fire. There's 4 guys right there that could probably contribute to the 24 Orioles if anybody outside of Holiday doesn't get dealt for a major arm. And right now, I know it's not a lot of people are thinking about it, but John Means is going to be a beautiful addition to the rotation come July.
Yep,
I don't think he's going to be back as soon as next month, but I think after the All Star break he'll be.
he's getting close.
Yeah, he's getting close. I just think that he's pretty much like a trade almost. He's hasn't been seen him on the mound in Baltimore since.
Yeah, because who do you? I mean, really, who do you take off? I mean, who do you bump? Everybody's had a good year, basically. I mean, I know
Yeah,
Bradish has had a shitty inning, but Bradish has been on fire all season too. So I don't know who you bump, man.
I think the only one that I think you just
Mike
got to
Elias had some tough decisions coming up, especially in the next few years.
he has some tough decisions coming up, but I think he's going to bump whoever is
Oh, come on,
still
fucking.
with the
Sorry.
option.
Yeah.
Whatever starter or reliever's got an option, they're going to send him down to make room for Means. I think they're going to take it slow with him, though. I don't believe that they're going to.
Yeah, why? You don't need
Yeah,
to. That'd be
yeah,
silly.
they
To
don't.
this
I
point,
mean,
take your time.
unless something falls apart in the next 4 or 5 weeks, it's you
Yeah,
know,
it's no point.
you
It's
know.
no point.
I think this might be the first year in a while where we are going to have multiple representatives in the All-Star game.
Probably. It's
If
exciting, man. It's so exciting. But hey,
I
I don't want to get negative, but what's going on with Mateo? I know. I mean, obviously he couldn't sustain the first month of the season. Month and a half of the season. I mean, if so, he would have been in the Hall of Fame. But his bat has completely just
wheels are
fell
falling off,
off.
man. I mean,
Yeah.
we talk about this all the time, man. When we're
So I mean,
texting,
it's kind of looking like he is what he is. He's a hell of a fucking defensive player, but he's never going to be a big bat. But he's a guy that can get hot, and when he's hot, he's fucking hot. So
yeah,
I'd like to see him warm back up a little bit, man. I feel bad for him. He's struggling at the plate.
I get it, and that's the thing. A month ago, I was thinking that when we talked to Bruce Cunningham about a month ago, I was thinking to myself, okay, how is he realistically not going to be a part of this rebuild? And then he comes crashing back down to earth rather quickly.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, as much as I hate to say it, and it's not old by any means, but I think he's 28 or 29.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to eventually.
He just needs to be consistent. He can't be a 200 hitter.
He can't
It's not
be. I
going to
mean,
happen. It's not going to happen.
if he can hit 215, 220, we just put him in the nine
That's
hole.
fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Put him in the nine hole and pray to God that he walks or he hits a little blooper or something to get on base.
I mean,
But
he'll sustain a major league career because he's so good defensively. He teams will take him just for that reason.
if
But
he can
he
get
won't be an everyday guy.
if he can get back up to 230 or 225, he's trade bait.
Oh, then he's gold. Yeah, he's golden.
He's trade bait. He's trade bait at that point. Then you send him out west to one of those California teams that need a shortstop for the stretch run at the end of the year. Somebody will give us either a mid or a somewhat high tier prospects for him. Nobody major league ready, obviously, but you got Westberg hitting the cover off the ball down in AAA. You gotta get him up here. It's about goddamn time. He's been in the organization 4 years now.
Yeah, we've
It
been
seems
waiting.
like. I think he might have been in Elias's first draft class, or he was in the previous regime's last draft class.
He's been around a minute. It's time. I think you're going to see him soon.
I'm hoping we do. I'm hoping we do
There you
because
go.
I'm hoping you do. I don't have a TV down here, so I don't know what's going on.
Sorry, bud.
No,
Well,
you're good.
it's
You're
2
good.
outs. We just threw a guy out at home. He was trying to tie it. It's still 5-4 Orioles, 2 outs. Bottom of the
Now,
seventh.
talking about prospects and some tough decisions, everybody in the outfield right now is making it very difficult to make a case for them to.
I don't know what you do.
I think Santander
Strickland
ends up.
can't even get on the field.
Yeah, I think Santander is going to be your permanent DH. That's if he can get out of
it. He's proven now. Santander's now proven he can play first base. Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, I'm not saying it's a legit scouting report, but from what I saw, they had a damn better scoop than Mountcastle. Because Mountcastle can't scoop a fucking ice cream cone, man.
I mean, hey, I get it. I totally get it.
I know he ain't played first long. He was a shortstop his entire life, but dude, you got to make a scoop, man. It's not easy, but you're in the major leagues.
But you can platoon him and Santander between first base and DH to keep their bodies fresh.
Platoon?
Yeah.
That's a strange choice of verbiage.
That's standard baseball.
Platoon?
Yeah,
All right.
you've only been watching or playing the game for 25 years.
Never use that word. So it
That's
means they stick together?
a platoon means more than one person doing the same job. A platoon of people.
Oh, okay. Got it. Gotcha.
Patterson did you dirty, my man.
I hear you. Go ahead. Platoon. So we have a platoon of shortstops in the minors.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or you could
I'm.
say plethora.
I was gonna say it, but I didn't want to fucking confuse you.
Or you could say plethora. I would probably say the word plethora.
I love you, man. That's hooked on phonics with Josh on
Yes.
Tuesday night. So,
Yes. In the cave.
let's talk about this god awful City Connected revelation that came out yesterday. Or yeah, was it yesterday? Yesterday, yeah.
Yeah. I still
Awful.
want one. Yeah, I mean they didn't. It seems like what's her name? Rita on the radio today made a good point.
Yeah,
She said, you know, like with the Nationals, you got the cherry blossoms. You automatically know Washington D.C. area. She was like, all they had to do was put like a crab or the warehouse. Like if you got to explain to us how it's Baltimore and represents Baltimore, then it's probably a bad idea.
I like
Even the font is just plain. It's
it. It
silly.
is. It is.
It's just a black jersey that says Baltimore.
I like the hat. The hat's
No, the hat's
cool.
cool. That was the
I
Buck B, man.
Yeah, that was a buck. That was the buck B all the way 100%. Instead of it being orange, it's white though.
Yeah.
But you had the opportunity to use Charm City, or you could have put the skyline, or you could have like Rita said, you could have put
A fucking crab.
a crab or something. But it's very generic, and I feel bad for them when they got to play in those uniforms on
All
Friday
black in the
nights.
summer.
All Friday nights, in August and July, it's gonna be terrible.
Yeah. I don't
I
get
like the
that.
edge of the sleeves though. The edge of the sleeves are pretty cool. With
Yeah,
the
that's cool.
and I noticed that the socks have the shapes of all the neighborhoods.
No, the socks are cool.
Yeah, the socks are pretty cool, but I mean, we're talking about fucking socks. Like
Yeah. I mean,
that sucks.
yeah. Yeah. I don't really like black on black in baseball, but I don't know, man.
It's
Very
not
close
very.
to
It's
that.
not seen very much. I mean,
Yeah.
I dig the black on black Ravens uniforms, but I mean that's
Yeah, it's
football.
different. It's football.
But I was a bit disappointed. They could have done something a little bit more for the City Connect. Ever since they laid this out a couple of years ago in MLB, and then I saw that they were only doing a half dozen teams a year. I'm like, shit, they're not going to get to us because we sucked at that point when they started laying this all out. I'm like, we were losing 100 fucking games. I'm like, oh, we're not going to see City Connect until fucking 2025.
Yeah, will be the last team.
Yeah. So I'm going to reserve my judgment. I'm still going to try and scoop an Adley jersey. If not, they did release like T-shirts that go with it, so I might try to scoop a T-shirt if I can't get a jersey.
Yeah,
I know that our wives were talking about how they wanted to get us one on Facebook.
Yeah,
So,
I'm getting one. Shit, I want one.
Yeah. So, other
Khaki
than
shorts with my black jersey on, I'll look nice, man. Nice fresh hat. Nice fresh tenors on.
nobody calls them tenors, but okay, you
I
do.
call them tenors. Yeah.
Okay. So moving on to the Ravens. The Ravens have had quite the eventful first week of OTAs. A lot of people were
Yeah, I
losing
was
their
gonna shit on
minds.
Lamar tonight if he wasn't there.
He's there. I didn't
He's
see
there.
any footage of him, out on the field, but
He wasn't, but he
according,
was in the building. He was probably there
yeah,
learning.
yeah. According to Jeff Z, who is one of the most reliable Ravens beat reporters for the Athletic, he reported that Lamar was in the building. So I'm happy he's there. Now let's get the rest of the guys there. They had a pretty good turnout.
I bet you'll be on the field tomorrow.
That'd be cool. I just want to see him out there throwing the ball to everybody. I want to see him, trying to get rhythm with these guys in a different passing attack, it's always going to be, you know,
You know who looks good from the pictures I saw, and he's a guy with a history of coming in out of shape, was
who's that?
Michael Pierce.
I didn't see any pictures of Michael Pierce.
Look at him. He looks good.
I'm
He's
just
like muscle.
hoping, I'm just hoping that Michael Pierce
Can stay
pl-
healthy. He's a
plays,
gamble. Yeah, he's a gamble.
because honestly, if Pierce stays somewhat healthy and can give us 10 or 12 games, I'm not even asking for a whole 17. If he can give us 10 to a dozen games, that lessens the blow of losing Calais Campbell to me. I know they're different players. I know Calais
It
is a
lessens it.
six. I know Calais is a 6'8", 320-pound monster that was still causing havoc in his age 37 year.
Yeah.
But a healthy Pierce allows Matabike and Broderick Washington to play their natural positions, because neither of those guys are a nose tackle.
No.
So for this to work, for the defense to work even better, having Michael Pierce on the field helps us immensely. And the fact that he's at camp, he's got to be well rested, because he had surgery for his torn bicep in week 2. That was
Why not
now.
go get like Ndamukong Suh to throw in there, man, real cheap?
I don't think
I
that
know he's not
he,
what he was. I know he's not even close to what he was. He's a shell. But if he can be in the rotation, maybe. Wow, Mike Elias is in the crowd at Yankee Stadium. Man, I love this dude. I'm sorry, that just
hey,
threw me off. I've never seen a general manager just in the crowd like that at a away
that's
game.
all that matters.
That's awesome. Where Matt? Where was I?
You were talking
Mike
about
distracted me.
the Ravens adding somebody like Ndamukong Suh.
Yeah, why
What
not? Why not? If you use him on third down, low percentage, maybe he can get a little bit of his wrecking ball back.
honestly, I don't want that. I would prefer if they went.
Wow, that's weird for you. I thought
It's
you'd be all
it
over
is
Ndamukong Suh.
it is, but I would
Because you
rather
sent
us.
me a text the other day talking about bringing Warren Sapp out of retirement.
Fuck you, Josh. Anyway, um, I'm more along the lines of going and getting Leonard Floyd from the Rams. He's still relatively. I'm not saying he's highly productive, and as much as I want Houston back for another year, unless he's coming back for 1.7 or 1.8 or whatever he played for last year, we don't need him eating any more of the salary cap, because I was listening to Jason Lockenfora the other day, and as much as I don't like agreeing with Jason Lockenfora, I agree with him on this. He said that Houston started out strong. He had a couple of games where he was
He
applying
faded
massive
out.
pressure,
Yeah.
and then he hit a wall, and he was seen or not seen or heard, for the last quarter of the season. So I want to avoid that. And if Floyd is a couple years younger, he's a little bit, bigger than Houston. I believe he's bigger than Houston.
Yeah.
But getting him out there to throw into the mix, we waived Dalen Hayes yesterday. That he just got hurt in that Detroit game and never was able to fully recover. I think he was a 5th-round draft pick. So that 21 draft class is looking pretty shaky right now in terms of the way things are turning out. But I want to see us go and get a halfway decent pass rusher that's not 34 years old. As much as I love the names, Justin Houston, love him. I thought that he was fantastic for the
Yeah.
team.
We use him too much. If we would have been able to use him on situations, if Owe would have been able to apply pressure, Houston wouldn't have had to been out there every snap. And Matabuke, he wouldn't have had to been out
Yeah.
there so much. Queen.
I
I was
was
shocked, by the way, to see Queen at. I did not, since he was in his feelings pouting. I did not expect him to be at OTAs.
but the thing is though, he's showing his face around here. He probably wants to stay here, seeing how well he plays in this defense.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, he wants to get paid, but he doesn't have the responsibility of being the signal caller. He doesn't have the responsibility of being the green dot. He doesn't have the
Yeah.
responsibility of being the focal point at linebacker, because teams are going to key on number 0, which is weird
Yeah.
to say. They're going to key on Roquan Smith
Yeah.
weekly. So he would have the ability to do what he does best, and that's fly to the ball and blitz and cause chaos.
And not have to worry about nothing.
And not have to worry about covering tight ends or covering the running back out of the backfield consistently. He's going to be able to fly around and be what he was destined to be, when we drafted him in the first round a couple years ago.
Yeah. I do think a lot of what the Ravens said, we're going to get him extended, is a lot of bullshit. I think it's the Ravens trying to just
It's
save
to
face
get him
a
in the
little bit.
building. They
It's
want to
to
get him in the building.
make him, get him out of pouting. What these young guys do, they scrub their social media, all their pictures are like, who gives a fuck? Like, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. But I do think they will offer him something, but it's not going to be what he's going to want, because like I said, once they gave Roquan $100 million, that sealed Queen's fate as a Raven. They can say it was, and his option, it was financial, but the reason we had to go get Roquan and pay him $100 million was because you didn't show up.
I think
you weren't reliable. We had to go trade for and give him $100 million.
I think that they're going to go the route that they went with Tyus Bowser. They're not going to really know what to classify him as, because Bowser is pretty much a catch-all for being a linebacker. He's good in coverage.
Like 3 years, $14 million or something.
I don't think they're going to offer him $14 million a year. It might be one of those situations where the Ravens give him.
I said 3 years, $14 million.
Yeah,
altogether.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying he thinks he's a $14 to $17 million kind of guy. If not, he might think of himself as a $20 million a year linebacker like Roquan. But he didn't start playing. He didn't start playing consistently well until Roquan learned the defense.
Like I said, he like you said, he can fly to the ball. He's not the Mike. He's not reading coverages and following keys. He's the will. He's just going where the ball is and hitting.
Yeah, and we got a really good. I mean, Tyus Bowser is a fantastic strong side linebacker. I believe.
Why you guys think all these people playing next to Ray for a million years would get these massive deals and then fucking suck when they left? Because Ray took all the attention. Ray made all the decisions. Ray told you what to do, and these guys were freed up to just run to the fucking ball. And for all those years, we had a big, nasty defensive line. They could just fly to the ball, and they look like superstars, and they look fast to the ball.
Real.
And then when they had to go be the guy,
it's real easy. It's real easy to look like that when you're playing you're playing behind Haloti Ngata and Terrell Suggs. You're playing next to Ray, and you got Ed Reed behind you. I mean, that's where that begins and ends. But I honestly think that if Tyus Bowser was a little bit faster in sideline to sideline, he'd be a perfect middle linebacker for this defense. And but he's great at setting the edge. I mean,
I'm expecting him to bounce back. It was the injury year last year. He wasn't the same, but I'm expecting him to be back, and he can apply pressure too.
Drew commented on the feed and said the only linebacker that didn't completely suck after he left Baltimore playing next to Ray was Bart Scott, and that's fair.
Definitely the most successful.
And I would say to a degree of Dallas Thomas, but he only had one good year in New England.
But even his good year, he was never there. He never got close to the level he was here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, never. Not even close.
And
Dude was playing safety. Dude was doing all kinds of crazy shit.
Safety, corner, linebacker, defensive end, special teams.
Man, Rex was doing some wild shit, man.
Oh, for sure. I'm excited to see not only Bowser bounce back, but I'm I'm excited to see what Ojabo's made of. I want to see this guy that's fully healthy, and
He put on some muscle, dude.
he put on some muscle mass, and then he was touted as a top 15 to top 20 pick the year that he got last year when he got hurt. I want to see if this dude is the real deal because we've been striking out more than we've been successful finding pass rushers. And as much as
If
I'm,
he is, man, that help. If he is a badass pass rusher, man, that is going to help everything immensely. It's going to help Oway. It's going to help the young rookie. What's his name? Robinson. I was just texting you about him. I got a good feeling about him because he's
yeah,
long and lanky, and he has bend. I went back and watched some of his film. He has bend, something Oway doesn't have. But if Ajabo can go out there and light shit up, man, it's going to help everything.
it's gonna help a lot. And the thing is, I was thinking about it, and I was listening to Vinny. A lot of us Ravens fans get upset with Ojabo. I mean, not with Ojabo, with Oway. And he made sense when he said it. And after taking the emotional part out of it, it did make perfect sense. I don't know why we were expecting Oway to come in here and be a double-digit sack guy when he never recorded a sack his last year at Penn State. We drafted him solely on potential and athleticism.
Yeah,
He's a freakish athlete,
yeah,
but he's not a natural pass rusher. It seems.
yeah, because he doesn't bend, and he's always going to be the guy that's right there, real close. Doesn't get the sack. You know why? Because in the NFL, man, it's the slightest little things, and he cannot bend. And I don't care what anyone says. Watch every great pass rusher in the NFL today and previously. All of them could bend. All of them could bend around the edge and just get the quarterback with one hand, however they can do it. They all had bend. Justin Houston bend. Dwight Freeney had crazy bend. And
Him
he's
and
stiff, man. And he
he
tries to
is,
beat people with speed. He tries to beat
and
them
you
inside with
can't
speed.
do it.
They try to run stunts with him. It doesn't work. And that's
He
why he
gets
saw the
he
field
gets
less
hustle
and less this
sacks.
year.
Most of
Yeah.
his sacks have been hustle sacks
Yeah.
outside the pocket
Yeah,
or
because he plays
second
hard.
and
And
third opportunity. Yeah, he's got
yeah.
an endless motor.
Yeah. But you were
But
taken in the first round, bro. That there's no people can say he's a project or whatever. No, you were taken in the first round of the NFL draft. You have not done much since the first 5 games of your rookie season. And this year he's gonna it's put up or shut up. He's gonna have to show me something. I'm not saying I want double digit sacks, any craziness, but I want to see some progress out of him, man. I
I'll
want to see
take
7,
five.
8 sacks.
I'll
Yeah,
take
5, 6,
five.
whatever. 5, 6, something, man. Get some sacks, dude. Get some pressures.
Now
Shit.
I wanted to run something by you that I saw on Twitter earlier today, and some fans and other podcasters brought up the possibility of us of acquiring Chase Young from the Commanders, and honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to it if they weren't asking for a crazy amount of draft picks or something absurd in the player department. I think that Chase Young would be a viable 1 year option, and then you could just let him walk if he doesn't do shit for you.
Yeah.
Um, and I saw, switching over to the offense, which is crazy in itself, is um, I saw that we were linked to Ezekiel Elliott and Kareem Hunt as potential backup running backs, and I for one am not interested in the least about bringing either one of those guys in, considering
What?
we have two very good running backs. I don't see the
Yeah.
need for that. That's just my
No.
personal opinion.
3 include you want to throw Hill in there.
Yeah, well, with this offense, I don't see where Hill fits in on the offensive scheme.
He's going to fit in on screens, dude.
And that's if they. I mean, that remains to
Moncton
be
is a
seen.
screen guy. But Moncton likes screens. I think if you don't use Hill in the screen game, you're stupid. He should
What?
have some kind of packages. By the way, all the reports coming out of the castle, all the leaks, Mike Preston reported on it. Moncton is very much in control, very much in
I heard that.
charge, and players are respecting him and buying in pretty. I mean, it's early, but he knows his system. He knows what he wants to do to a T.
And I'm cool with that.
And I'm excited, man. I haven't been this excited for an OC since Kubiak. Um, I've never seen, watching this team my entire life, I have never ever seen this much talent on the offensive side of the ball.
Now the now number 8's got to get out on the field.
Yeah,
Let's
he's
just
got everything now. No more excuses. Put up or shut up, motherfucker. You cried. You got it. Now it's time to go.
and
I'm glad you showed up to OTAs because I was about to light your ass up on here if you didn't show up.
there's still, it's picking up steam again where DeAndre Hopkins went on a
Yes, it is.
podcast on I Am Athlete, and he said that Lamar Jackson's one of the quarterbacks on his short list of who he wants to play for. So it doesn't seem like this saga with Arizona's over yet. And honestly, I'm not objected to it. It would take
the problem is, how would you pay him?
Right. Eric would have to do some serious finagling and number crunching. The only thing that makes
Arizona would have to eat a lot of it.
Arizona would have to eat a lot, and then you had to trade somebody back to Arizona
to free something up,
to free some money up, and that's where somebody like Queen comes in.
Or Michael Pierce.
Michael Pierce comes in.
Because let's be real, the only reason Michael Pierce is on this team right now, I know he's needed, and I want him to do well, but he's on this squad right now because his cap penalty.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's more expensive to cut him.
So, I'm if it came down to us trading for,
it's time for the Mountain Nose fans.
If it came down to Hopkins going to Cincinnati or Philly or KC, I'd rather him come here just to keep him away from those other places. And at this point, I'm not writing off Duvernay at all, but I'm just wondering where he fits, considering, like you said a couple minutes ago, the weapons we have. You have.
I think Duvernay fits as a utility knife.
But he's been that for the thing is, I know it's been under Roman.
But not consistently, Matt. Not consistently. And not right.
He needs to stay healthy.
Yeah, he needs to stay healthy. And I think he'll be used in the screen game. I think he'll be used in the short passing over the middle game. I'm sure. I think he's going to, spread things out. But do I think Duvernay really – I mean, do I think Zay Flowers hurts Duvernay? Yeah. But a guy I want to bring up is Rashad Bateman. He had some obvious issues with the front office this offseason. I don't think he made a good name for himself in that building. Kind of the way he acted, kind of babyish. And now, guess what, bro? They just paid a free agent receiver, $17 million, $15 million. They just went in the first round and grabbed what most people say is the best receiver in the draft, Zay Flowers. So, it's time for your ass to step up too. I know you had injuries, but it's time to step up, man, because this team has some firepower, and he does not. His spot is not as sturdy as it maybe once was.
The best ability is availability when you got this much talent on one side of the ball.
Yeah.
Bateman is the de facto wide receiver too. Until OBJ proves that he's not, he is your automatic number one by default. Based on experience, based on skill set, based on longevity, based on just who he is. And I'm not kissing his ass. I want him to prove that he can stay healthy. That's first and foremost, because he hasn't been seen on a football field since 2 Super Bowls ago.
Yeah. So I think the Ravens are going to be cautious with him. I don't see him in every down. I don't see him being in every down. I can see him getting breaks, and I think they're going to be very careful. He's not even going to
suit up until week 1.
Yeah. I mean, he made that clear at his press conference. He was like, look, we don't start playing games till September.
Exactly.
Yeah. That means I ain't doing shit till then, which I don't blame him. You don't need to.
I think that they need to take another cautious approach, and I think every starter on the offense needs to be in a sweatsuit for 2 out of those 3 games and get him a little, maybe get him a series or two
Yeah.
in the final game. But
Yeah.
this is an important year. You got a
And people need
206.
to remember, like, they didn't give Odell, a veteran little cheap deal. If he gets hurt, he gets hurt. No, they fucking paid him top receiver money.
Exactly. So
So
you now have sunk 15 million guaranteed plus 2 first-round picks in the last 3 years into your wide receiver room. Then
yeah.
you went out and signed Nelson Aguilar, which that signing looks better by the week.
Yes, it
And
does.
because he's not going to be relied on to be the guy in any
Nope.
situation, he's going to be your guy that comes in and can take the top off the defense and open things up underneath.
Yes, sir.
Andrews is back and he's
You're
healthy.
getting me excited, man.
Isaiah
Kohler.
Likely and Kohler both
Ooh.
came in with added muscle.
Isaiah Likely, my personal friend. He probably remembers me.
I'm sure he does from that awkward hug you gave him.
Yes.
Um,
Fuck off.
and then there's the running backs. Gus is healthy. JK's healthy. Let's
And
see what
hungry.
these, because they're both fighting for contracts. I think
Yeah.
Gus is in the final year of his extension,
Yeah.
and JK's up for a new contract after this year.
And he wants
Now,
to start making real money.
yeah, of course he does. That's the whole object of playing professional sports.
Yeah.
I think that these guys are going to be primed for a very good year.
I'm
Now,
curious to see how Moncton, how it's sprinkled in, because when you got this many weapons, offensively as far as receiving, and I'm receivers, and I'm talking about the tight ends too, because I mean tight ends are receivers that can block for the most part. Like what's he going to do, man? How's he going to spread it? How is he going to even it out? Is he going to be run heavy at times, or is he not going?
I'm interested too, but
It's interesting.
something that he said stuck out to me at his press conference during football school.
Mm-hmm.
He said that he talked about all the players that he's got, all the weapons he's got, and he had this statement. He said, "But there's only one football." So to
Yeah.
me, he's probably tempering a lot of people's expectations. I think we're going to throw a lot more. I think we're going to throw to open up the run as opposed to run to open up the
Open up the
passing.
throw. Yeah. And I don't think the
So,
runs are going to be 3 tight end sets.
no. Now, speaking of tight end sets, I do believe that you're going to see Likely and Kohler split out more. I'm interested to see what they do with Pat Ricard.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Yeah.
Ricard is
Where does
going
he
to
fit?
be in. I think he takes over for Boyle as tight end 2 in terms of run packages.
The Yankees just fucking tied it. And who do you think tied the game, Matt? Guess.
Aaron fucking Judge, right?
Of course.
Was it a
Fucking
home run?
bastard. Yep.
Of course.
He just tied it. Smoked Batista.
What inning are we in?
Bottom of the ninth.
Oh,
Batista was in the closer, man. We're trying to get out with the win. Now we're going to extra innings. Fucking roke the fastball right down the middle.
98, 99 on the radar gun looks impressive until it's flat and you're throwing it to one of the best hitters in baseball.
Maybe the best hitter the world's ever seen.
I don't know if he's better than Ohtani. Ohtani's just...
Ohtani's a whole. Wait a minute. Wait. Ohtani, he's a whole different animal, dude. We'll never see anything like him ever again. Like he's just a weirdo. Like you don't see that. This ain't Little League, motherfucker. You can't be the best pitcher and hitter, dick. You think you're Gary Welch, motherfucker? Shit.
Nobody's gonna get that reference but our friends.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with this team. But
it's exciting. Damn, I did not expect us to go 40 minutes.
Neither did I, but that's where we're gonna end the show.
Yeah, we're gonna shut this shit down.
We're gonna shut
My
it
daughter
down.
graduates tomorrow, guys.
Aubrey has her pre-K party next Friday.
Julia's is tomorrow.
Have fun with that. Next week, guys, we have a special guest joining us next Wednesday
We got
on the
some big
31st.
guests coming.
Kevin Ostreicher from Locked On Ravens.
Yep.
And
Don't ask me to say his last name.
he's a contributor to 105.7 The Fan for all their shows. He's constantly on there as a guest. As a guest, he'll be joining us next week, and we have a couple more guests coming up that we are in the process of locking down now. So,
And guys,
Josh,
start sharing these videos. Share them.
yes, please start sharing them. Yes, especially when it's just me and you, my man.
Yeah, because I know we try to get guests to get you guys more interested in just
Yes,
me and Matt shooting the shit. Hey, and give a hand in the air if Jeremy Kahn was cool as shit, because that was a cool motherfucker, man. I like that.
yes, we really enjoyed Jeremy.
We're gonna have
We
him back eventually.
Yes, we will. When we get closer to football season, we'll definitely have Jeremy back on. And that's a wrap, Josh. Shut it down.
We're gonna shut it down. OTAs. We're gonna see Lamar Izzy out there throwing the football kizzy tomorrow, and my baby girl graduates tomorrow. Shut this shit down.